What's up, everyone? Don't adjust your display. It is me, and I am here in the flesh. It has been quite a while since I posted a video, over a month. And well, I can tell you basically the short answer to why. It's been a very busy time for me. A very, very busy time for me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's actually been a very good way. People who are very new to the channel, I'll have to tell you a quick backstory. Back in the end of March, I was let go from my job, and I was able to go into a program that allowed me to start my own business. That meant that I can put time into training, so on and so forth, going to business counselors to get a business started. The business would be, of course, taking Pileggi technical services and turning it into a thing. What thing is that? Well, I'm a computer electronics concierge service. I'm basically an all-encompassing business that does it all. I can recommend what TV to put up on your wall. I can put it up for you, show you how to use it, take it back down for you, move it around. You know, I can do anything like that. You got your computers running slow. I can do virus program scans. I can update. I can build you a whole new machine. You're a store and you want a background system for music, I can install something like that. Or you want music on your back deck, or you want a home theater system installed, or LED lighting under your cabinet, or you have some custom electronics you possibly need help developing, or whatever. There's a few different things that I can do, and I thought wouldn't it be neat to make a business out of that. So over the years, people have always contacted me and said, hey, can you fix this, can you fix that? Family members, I got a computer, or my tablet, my mom especially, my tablet volume button stopped working, can you fix that? Or there's always been some things. I've had a job working for a cell phone repair store. There's always been technical things that I've done, and starting a business based on that, I thought would be pretty neat, and not just be a computer repair store, or just an electronics repair store, or just a TV installer. Kind of do a little bit of all of it, and maybe eventually, one day I'll find that 90% of my business is one thing. Maybe I'll specialize in that at that point, or spin off into specializing in that one thing. But for now, I like the all-encompassing idea. Just a handyman of the electronics world, basically. With that, I figured this channel would be the working portfolio towards it. I can, just do videos showing my work ethic, or showing different things, or reviewing equipment for other people who have similar interests, and we went from there, and the channel built, and I built a subscriber base, and I have a great fan base, and of course I watch other YouTubers with similar interests, so we all kind of borrow, I'd say, from each other in ways. So it's been a really great community thing. But when you have a job and you have a schedule to your life, then what happens is you can keep a good routine going, and when that job becomes stressful and stuff like this becomes relaxing, then you have incentive to do it, I guess you could say. So what happened was when I lost my job back in the end of March, I went to this program to get this thing started, and I've been putting time into that, just coming home, doing training, doing whatever. And what ended up happening was I needed extra funds. What I was getting through unemployment just wasn't cutting the mustard, and getting a full-time job wasn't what I was going for at this time, so I needed to get something. And luckily, somebody I knew contacted me that they just got onto this big project renovating this house upstate in Saugerties, about an hour from here, and they need a helper. And I've been up there since, really, and I've started doing a couple days here, and then it went up more and more, and then eventually I was doing like a week, and it was just an hour up, 8 hours there, an hour down. It got to be a little bit grueling, and I wasn't putting as much time towards getting this business stuff started, because when I'd come home, by the time I got here and sat down, ate dinner, and hung out with my wife, and just did things around the house, it might be 8 o'clock. And then I'd sit down and, I have the thing on my bench somebody sent me to fix. Actually, there's two things here. Or I'd have someone stop by with a computer, or there'd be something to do. So, of course, now that's an obligation. That's extra funds. So I'd work on that. And then what free time after that, I would work on the business. And it got to be a lot going on. And I said something had to give. So I got rid of making YouTube videos. And we went from Tuesdays and Thursdays to just Wednesdays to just nothing. I just kind of disappeared into obscurity, and I never said anything to anybody about it. Just kind of just drifted off, and haven't even posted anything on social media. Now, I've been on YouTube, I have responded to comments and stuff, but I just haven't had a chance to really publicly come out and say, hey guys, I'm swamped with stuff right now. I can't really come out and make any videos. Which is a shame, because, you know, part of the whole thing with making videos is to highlight what I do and you know, share my knowledge, I guess you could say. You know, I have no problem telling people how to do something or way I do it, but there's still people out there who'd rather have me do it for them, or you know, they're learning, and this is how they learn, and I appreciate that, because that's how I learned. You know, a lot of things I picked up from other people, and that's really the best way to do it, I think. Here it is now. It's September 3rd, Sunday night, and I said it's time to actually sit down and talk to the camera and say some stuff. So in the last couple weeks, I've actually cut back the hours at the job upstate. And by the way, the guy upstate also has a place downstate in Westchester, which is an hour drive. I'm in the midpoint, so it's either go down there, work for the day, or go up the other place and work for the day. So it's still, and that way it's actually sometimes ends up being an hour and a half, because traffic is horrendous. You know, that's just Westchester for you. But the thing is, I scaled back to 3 days a week on my business counselor's basically advice. She said, you know, you're putting too much time into doing this. I know you're trying to make some money on the side here to help you out, but you're going to really need to focus on getting this thing started, because your unemployment will run out, and you know, I'm sure your construction job is going to run out when the house is finished, and what are you going to do? You know, so you're going to have to, you know, get the ball rolling here. And she's totally right. So I got the ball rolling. I finished up with training I needed to get done, obligated to the state, got all the forms filled out, everything else is good to them. So the next step is to actually get Pileggi Technical Services LLC started. And there's a few different ways to do it. The easy way is to just go online, download a form, fill it out, send them your money. New York State, it's like $200, something like that, to the state, to the filing fee. And then there's, you know, you have to file for taxes. You know, there's things to do. It's not hard. It's really not hard. It's just doing it, you know. And then with me, there's always been, I can do this. Maybe. You know, there's a little guy on my shoulder who always says that, and I always hesitate with certain things. Luckily, I did a job this last week for a dear friend of mine, the guy who donated the camera, Scotty here. I've done a couple things for him, actually. There's a video coming up of a camera installation I did in his car, one of those dash cams. Anyway, I did a moving job for him. Unfortunately for me, he moved to Florida. Fortunately for him, he moved to Florida. He drove down there just the other day. I'm actually like 15-minute walk to Stewart Airport, right up here, and he is an hour drive from Orlando Airport, and Stewart flies directly to shore Orlando, and it's like 2.5, 3 hours tops, you know, I'm sure. So if I really wanted to see him that bad, it's a flight, you know, if 4 hours tops, I could probably be at his place, really, if you think of it. So that's cool. But he took good care of me the other day, and it's actually just enough money to get everything started with the LLC, to have ink file, which is kind of like LegalZoom. It's one of those online filing companies, but they just do business and corporations and stuff. They're gonna do the work for me, and it's better to have someone do it, because it's gonna be done right, and they can expedite things, I guess you could say, and they'll handle the tax ID, and you know. So what it's boiling down to is, in the next couple weeks, I should have the paperwork coming in to actually have me fully established as a real working business, and I'll get insurance, I'll have all those goodies, which means, of course, you know, I'll have a tax ID, I can go online, get wholesale accounts for parts. It's just gonna really give me some great opportunities, and I'm gonna start advertising and start bringing things in. Now, what does that mean about YouTube channel? It's actually going to make the channel grow, believe it or not, because it's going to give me really great content to bring into here. I had thought at one point, perhaps maybe, that I could bring in enough money through revenue on this channel to not need a day job. I don't have the viewership for that. I don't have the ad space for that, basically. You know, with YouTube scaling back with ads and everything in the last since the beginning of the year, I believe it happened. It's been a whole different world here, so I'm not getting the kind of money that I did initially, and it wasn't a lot to begin with. I thought about doing Patreon, but there's some exclusivity with Patreon. There's people who like withhold episodes or they do certain things, and I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know what I want to do with Patreon to be able to set it up right where people want to be able to donate monthly to me, and you know what the incentive is going to be, I guess you could say. So if I do actually work that out, that might be a thing, but there's going to be time to do this as time dwindles away upstate. You know, I'm only giving them 3 days a week now, and I'm going to be using the other 2 days a week to work on a website. There's actually PileggiTechnicalServices.com and PileggiTech.com. I bought those 2 domains pretty recently. So there's also a P.O. Box. I'll be putting that information out publicly very soon too. If you guys want to send me things to look at or any donations or anything, of course, it'd be greatly appreciated. But of course, I will make that address public to people who want to do that kind of stuff. Send me things. Just give me a heads up to know to look for it, because the post office won't let me know there's stuff there, and there's not really anything coming into that box yet, so I don't really have a chance to go over there daily, but I will be checking it out. But anyway, so getting into what's going to happen soon, that's basically it. Expect to see some big exciting announcements coming, as far as, you know, I got the paperwork for the business or stuff like that, and I look forward to having more time to making these videos. Like I said, I have one I'm editing now. I figured I'd get this one done first, because rather than have a random video just show up in your feed from somebody you haven't heard from in a while, it'd be nice to see one with actual content of what's been going on. You may also notice in the dark over here, there's a huge computer rack with all kinds of goodies on there. That's new. That was not there before. This is actually a shot of the lab that's not very well seen. Most of the time the camera's completely turned around looking at my tech desk, which I'm actually looking at right now. Sometimes you do see the editing desk over here, but not as often as you see the main bench, especially when I'm looking at my anti-static mat over there. That's the main guy you look at a lot. But this big rack over here is just all computer equipment now. I have that completely worked over with all kinds of stuff. You may barely see, there's an old Windows, I think 98 or 95 machine over here. There's an old laser printer, which I am still using. A bunch of old printers up here. We're actually going to do teardowns and all that stuff. Yeah, there's an old CRT up here, and you know, some computer parts and stuff. There's actually a bunch of old monitors up on top. Speaking of old monitors, my friend gave me a 1080p monitor over there, so my big TV will be coming off the wall in favor of the 1080p monitor. I think I'd rather have much higher resolution than a bigger picture. So this room is actually slated to get redone. That's one of the reasons why the tech bench isn't in view right now. I have some projects on there. Once I get finished off, everything's getting to be 180. So this is obviously the door in and out of the room, but my white tech bench will be sitting over here where my other equipment is, and all this will be flipped around, so the editing desk will be on the other wall over here. Part of the reason is because there's a large set of windows. I am recording at night, but if it was during the day, there'd be some nice sunlight coming through this window, which would help with natural light. But during the day, it's harder to film the tech videos when you're facing down on that desk, because it's shadows and the lighting, everything's kind of funky. So having everything flipped around over there would be better. Also, since the TV will be off the wall, I'll be able to put shelving on that wall over there, and some component bins off to the camera on the side over here, which will give me a lot more room. It'll make the work desk and the workflow easier for me to get through, but the desk itself will be neater. Doing videos will be better because you might be able to see more what's going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I can also say another update as I'm looking on the floor over here. I mentioned a while back in a few different videos, especially the ones where I mentioned I was getting let go, that the pharmacy had 2 servers running, an old one that they replaced with a newer one, but they both were running simultaneously, and you know, finally they decided to get a new one and just completely eliminate the old ones. And I was supposed to get the 2 older servers, and I kind of was bummed out. Oh man, I'm never going to get those. And well, Scotty still worked there, and we've been in contact many times. We've seen each other many a time, and he kept telling me the boss, you know, didn't want to get rid of them. He wanted to try to sell them, and it always went back and forth. And I thought, oh, I'm never going to get those things now, and I got them. Scotty moved to Florida, and this last day, you know, before he left, he mentioned something, and I guess that was, no, they're not going to go, you know, that kind of thing. And I guess he visited a couple more times since he left the job. And they said, this is your last time here. You're not going to be in New York anymore. Are you going to see Chris? If he still wants those, give them to him with my warm regards. And I was, thrown back. So, yeah, I got it's a Dell Power Edge T310, I believe, and Power Edge 2900. The 2900 is a bit old, but it's a beast. It's a big, heavy box. You could put 2 processors in it, 2 Xeon, I don't even remember what they were, E series, whatever. This one's an X series, 16 gigs of RAM. You know, it's a newer machine, but I'm going to be using that here in the lab. We're going to open that up and take a look at it. I have a ton of videos to do, all kinds of different stuff. Like I said, the next one will be the dash cam review. That should be coming out this particular week. I'm going to try to get this video pushed out quickly as possible, but I'm going to try to shoot for Wednesdays again. We'll see. I was thinking about Fridays, but I know a lot of people, you know, do things on Fridays. I was trying to make a video upload during the week when people had nothing to do. Wednesday felt like a good week, and then, you know, the Tuesday, Thursday thing was kind of nice too, but, you know, I'm not really sure. But like I said, there are a lot of things I want to make some videos on. There's stuff piled up in here in the lab that's been sitting right here. A lot of things I said I would do, I still am going to do. I'm just going to get around to doing it. But really, that's it. I just wanted to thank everyone for sticking around. We are almost at 1,500 subscribers. I did mention at the end of the year, if I got to the 1,500 mark, I would have some kind of a celebration video with a giveaway at the end, and that has not changed. Don't know what the giveaway will be yet. I do know there will be one though, and it will be something really neat. The last 2 giveaways that I did of my own items here were power supplies that I had modified, and I know they went over really well. So maybe it might be something relating to that. That seems to be a good theme. Not sure. We'll figure that out. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. We hope to see you guys in the very near future. I'll put some links to some other stuff up over here as well. And with that, thanks for watching. We'll see you again.